French President Emmanuel Macron's state visit to the United Kingdom, which began on Tuesday, has ignited controversy as reports confirm he will not meet with Nigel Farage, the leader of Reform UK, despite scheduling meetings with other opposition leaders. The decision, described by some as a deliberate snub, has fueled discussions about diplomatic priorities, Brexit tensions, and the growing influence of Farage's party. According to GB News, Macron is set to meet with Tory leader Kemi Badenoch and Liberal Democrat leader Sir Ed Davey during his 3-day visit, but no such meeting is planned with Farage, whose party has surged in recent polls. A source from GB News reported, Emmanuel Macron is set to snub Nigel Farage by not meeting him during his state visit to Britain this week.
That's right, Tom Lemon. Sorry about the wind here in Downing Street, but this week we're seeing Emmanuel Macron, the French president, coming to the UK. We can confirm this hour that the president, of course, is meeting, as you expect, with Sir Keir Starmer, almost certainly, and with other ministers. He's also meeting on the opposition side with the Tory leader Kemi Badenoch and with the Liberal Democrat leader Sir Ed Davey. But as things stand, he's not meeting with Nigel Farage. Of course, Nigel Farage's party only 4 MPs now after one of their number withdrew themselves from the whip over the weekend. 4 MPs, but of course leading way ahead in the polls and could form the next government. But as things stand, the French President Emmanuel Macron is not meeting with the Reform UK leader Nigel Farage. Friends of him have told us this hour he has no idea if he's meeting with Mr Macron, but Mr Macron is meeting with Kemi Badenoch and Ed Davey. We're not sure at this moment whether it's Buckingham Palace may have told the Elysee Palace who Macron should meet, or whether Macron said, I'm not meeting Farage, I'll meet the other 2. Of course, there are other parties with more MPs in Parliament, the SNP, for example, so we mustn't see it in isolation about Nigel Farage. But given his position in the polls, given the realpolitik of where the polls are going, you might wonder whether it could be wise for Macron to try and meet with Farage and understand where it's coming from. But of course, in Parliament, his party is the 5th or 6th biggest party, I think. So obviously, technically, there's no need for them to meet. But maybe pragmatically, that meeting could be important. But as things stand, it's not happening. And of course, that will allow supporters of Farage's party to say he's being snubbed by the French president.
With Macron and Farage expected to miss each other, Reform UK Deputy Leader Richard Tice has poured scorn on the snub. This is an outrageous and deliberate snub, Tice fumed. Reform is polling higher than all of the other parties, and by denying Nigel a meeting with Macron, the establishment is shutting its eyes to the lights of the reform train that is coming. If Macron was confident of his handling of the small boats issue, he would happily meet with Nigel. As Macron dines with King Charles, Queen Camilla and Starmer, the absence of Farage from the itinerary underscores the complex interplay of diplomacy and domestic politics. Whether a calculated move or a pragmatic scheduling choice, the snub has amplified Farage's narrative of being sidelined by the establishment, potentially galvanising his supporters further.